I really respect her for that.
Hi Miglani, कैसा है?
I'm very well, Kedia. How are
Hmm.
you?
I'm doing very good, Miglani.
Good, good. And we've got our, as I always say, hump day, which is
Hmm.
our AI Wednesdays. So welcome to
See,
all our
Miglani,
viewers. We are doing
I
our
went
AI
to the,
Wednesday today from Vikas Kedia and Manish Miklani, better known as Vix and Migs.
Miglani, I went to Sriram College, and at least in Delhi University, hump was a bad word. So I don't know why people in London call it hump.
Yeah.
Uh,
I know. I mean, I know we are talking about AI today, but language is something that the same word can keep changing the meaning over the years. Over the years.
Not only over the
I mean,
years,
what's a
I
good
think
word
Delhi
becomes
University, the
a
word
bad
hump
word.
means the same that it meant 25 years ago. I don't think that word has
No,
changed.
no.
Maybe.
Hump originally is like the hump of the camel. That is what I learnt in school.
Now you're making
I
it
know
more visual,
when you
Miglani.
were in university and when I was in university, hump meant something, and and now hump day is still going back in a circle in one more context as the middle, because it's like you start, there's,
No, no, you're just
and
making
then
it
you
more
go back.
visual.
So
I think we'll have to cut this all out because sometimes our parents watch it too.
yeah, let's
So
get to AI, Vix.
yes,
Vix, what has caught your mind this week? What's the top story of this week for you?
sure. So that Facebook launched Llama 4. Nobody really cares because the market now feels crowded. And like what we've been telling for a long time now that OpenAI is getting all the market share because that's what people remember because it was the first mover in this industry, and everybody else after this is just one more person, even though some of them have better scores. But one thing, so now people will be able to distinguish themselves into how they apply AI to real world problems, right? And having a personal tutor has been shown to have two standard deviation increase in learning ability of children. So if you're trying to learn something, if you can afford a
Two standard
person.
deviation, Vix. I know I learned that in college.
Mhm.
I learned standard deviation in college. अभी बहुत ज़्यादा साइंस दिखा रहा है तू.
हाँ हाँ तो बट मैंने बेसिकली बात क्या है कि अभी तक क्या होता था कि एंड दिस वुड बी अ ट्रेंड दैट एआई विल शो एआई विल बी अ गुड इक्वलाइजिंग फोर्स थ्रू द वर्ल्ड कि जो चीज सिर्फ पैसे वाले लोग कर सकते थे अब वो मिडिल क्लास भी कर सकती है जो चीजें खाली मिडिल क्लास कर सकती थी वो लोअर मिडिल क्लास भी कर सकती है तो अभी तक क्या होता था कि पैसे वालों के घर में दो तीन टीचर आते थे बच्चों को पढ़ाते थे बच्चे स्कूल में अच्छा करते थे फिर आईआईएम पहुंच जाते थे एंड ऑल दैट राइट बट अब एआई कैन बी योर पर्सनल ट्यूटर एंड देखो एक बात होती है कि आप प्रॉमिस कर रहे हो कि एआई कैन बी माय पर्सनल ट्यूटर और मास्टर जी के महीने के 1,000-1,200 रुपए जो लगते हैं वो नहीं लगेंगे एंड द एआई विल बी अ वेरी गुड पर्सनल ट्यूटर सो आई थिंक दैट हैज क्रॉस्ड फ्रॉम अ realm of a promise to a reality so I'm using it in my personal life and I have to learn some things and I would like to give you a demo of
But
that
when
and I
you say
know
personal tutor,
huh, personal tutor
when you
yeah
say personal tutor, as in, so my kids,
hmm,
if I can use AI and I can doctor it and modify it with very little effort, so
yes
they can prepare them for whatever entrance exams
yeah
for in the UK it's called GCSE and A levels.
yes
uh, इंडिया में वो 10th और 12th के बोर्ड्स बोलते थे, फिर उसके बाद
yes
आपका वो कॉलेज होता था.
yes हाँ तो उन सब चीजों के लिए आप प्रिपेयर कर सकते हैं एआई के संग और एआई आपको जैसे मैंने घर पे आके मास्टर जी 1 घंटे आपके सामने बैठते थे मम्मी मास्टर जी को चाय पिलाती थी मास्टर जी आपको पढ़ाते थे तो अब एआई कैन डू ऑल दैट एंड एटलीस्ट
But see, so here's my question: is I know AI can do all that because
यस
I have been into AI for my venture capital stuff for the last 1.5, 2 years very
यस
directly, and for the last 10 years.
Yes.
what was called machine learning.
Mm.
But my question really is कि AI can do all that, but can that be done by the common person? Like
Yes.
अगर मेरी मम्मी को ये करना हो कि
हाँ.
अपने ग्रैंड किड्स के लिए,
Yes.
ग्रैंड किड्स के लिए,
So
इज
that's the
एआई
हाँ.
केपेबल ऑफ दैट? बिकॉज या उसको कुछ कोडिंग चाहिए या उसको कुछ
हाँ.
तो नॉलेज चाहिए कि मतलब
नहीं,
आप ये प्रूव
जैसे आप
करो
अपने
वो टेस्ट
मास्टर जी के
करो।
संग बात करते थे कि मास्टर
हाँ,
जी अब ये किया, अब कैसे करूं, अच्छा अब ये किया, अब ये क्या होता है मास्टर जी, वो क्या होता है। तो एआई भी जैसे मास्टर जी जवाब देते थे अपनी आवाज से, तो एआई भी अपनी आवाज से जवाब देगा। इस
वाह।
नो लॉन्गर कि आप टाइप कर रहे हो चैट जीपीटी में कि अच्छा मुझे इंडियन हिस्ट्री में बताओ, फिर वो इंडियन हिस्ट्री बताए, नॉट दैट। The AI will respond to you just like your master जी would respond to you verbally, audience। और जैसे आप मास्टर जी को कॉपी दिखाते थे कि मास्टर जी कॉपी में ये लिखा हुआ है, तो मास्टर जी कॉपी देख के बोलते थे अच्छा बेटा नहीं यहाँ पे गलत लिखा है, इसको इरेज करो और
ये
ऐसे
सब हो
लिखो।
जाता है।
ये सब भी एआई कर पाएगा, बट जस्ट लाइक अ मास्टर जी वुड डू।
आई
सो
आई विक्स, डू यू हैव समथिंग दैट यू कैन शो अस? बिकॉज मेरे पैसे बचेंगे।
हाँ हाँ, नहीं, नॉट ओनली पैसे बचेंगे बट मैं I'm preparing for some exams, and I'm using it in my daily life, and I think see it's all a matter of कि दिन में यार the mind is active or like really ready to absorb information only for 4 or 5 hours in a day in a human mind. And the goal is that in those 4 or 5 hours, how do you get the most information into your mind? And at least
यस,
it's been helping me that way, and it's been helping me वेरी वेरी वेल। मैंने मैंने इसको होता है ना कि दैट्स अ वाव फीलिंग कि अच्छा wow, this is okay, this is working, this is really good. I can talk to the AI, the AI can see what's on my screen, the AI can, I can ask AI questions about what's on my screen, and it's able to tell me that. So I'm excited to give a demo. Before I start giving a demo, I want to share something else with users, okay? So on this we're talking about education and how to use AI for education. और एक अलग चीज साइंटिस्ट ने निकाली है, द आइडिया ऑफ स्पेस्ड रिपीटेशन एंड फ्लैश कार्ड। स्पेस रिपीटेशन का क्या मतलब हुआ कि सपोज ये क्वेश्चन है, बहुत सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन लेता हूं, व्हेन डिड इंडिया बिकम इंडिपेंडेंट, राइट? स्पेस रिपीटेशन सेज कि तुम्हारे स्क्रीन पे एक फ्लैश कार्ड आएगा, तुम उसका जवाब दोगे। व्हेन यू गिव दैट आंसर, इफ योर आंसर इज इनकरेक्ट, it will show you that flashcard more often. But if you say no, I know this answer, don't show me that flashcard again, then it will show you, it will not, it will show you once in a year. बट अगर वो कहता है कि हु वाज द फर्स्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर, अगर उसका जवाब तुम्हें नहीं पता है तो यू कैन से मुझे नहीं पता है, सो इट विल शो यू दैट फ्लैश कार्ड ऑफन। So the idea is कि it repeats flashcards depending on how well you can remember that flashcard, right?
and
So
Vix, I want to add one thing. What is a flashcard in today's internet age
yes,
is, as an example, sometimes a lot of these websites, they keep asking us, please do this task because it's like a double or triple security protection.
sure,
And that's also going into training some AI or some algorithm,
sure,
that whether people can do it or not, because that's also a flashcard, isn't it?
yes,
कि ये वाली मेरे को तो सबसे कॉमन आता है कि बाइसिकल्स दिखा दो और बसेस
हाँ,
दिखा दो और इस
हाँ,
पे क्लिक करो, क्लिक करो, क्लिक
yes,
करो।
yes,
आई एम
नहीं,
जस्ट टायर्ड, आई एम जस्ट टायर्ड। फिर मेरे को लगता है कि
no, but that's
मेरे
not
को
a
लगता है कि
flashcard,
दैट आई हैव टू
that's
टेक दिस सेकंड
no,
एंड थर्ड लेवल ऑफ सिक्योरिटी अवे फ्रॉम माय अकाउंट।
yeah, no, that's
और
a
मैं जब
that's a
प्रेस करने
security
वाला
measure.
होता हूँ ना, देन आई रियलाइज कि कोई भी हमारे घर में घुस के, आज की डेट में घर में नहीं कोई घुसता, आज की डेट में लोग बैंक अकाउंट में डायरेक्टली ऑनलाइन घुसते हैं।
Yes, yes,
एंड
but
फिर मैं रुक जाता हूँ।
आप मिक्स, आप जो बात कर रहे हो वो सिक्योरिटी चेक की बात कर रहे हो कि यू वांट दैट्स अ ह्यूमन चेक, जस्ट अ चेक फॉर ह्यूमैनिटी दैट ओनली अ ह्यूमन कैन सॉल्व दैट पजल, अ कंप्यूटर कैन नॉट। बट दिस फ्लैश कार्ड इज समथिंग एल्स। दिस फ्लैश कार्ड जो बचपन में होता था ना कि छोटे छोटे कागज बनाते थे, कागज में सवाल लिखते थे, पीछे आंसर लिख लेते थे, फिर वो कार्ड अपने आंख के सामने मम्मी रखती थी, अच्छा
उसको
बेटा।
दिल्ली में फर्रे बोलते थे।
हाँ,
वो
फर
आप अपने वो
हाँ,
स्लीव में घुसा के जाते थे
जी जी
एग्जाम में।
जी नहीं मिल रहा नहीं। जो फ्लैश कार्ड में तो बड़ी बड़ी हैंडराइटिंग में लिखते थे, फर्रे में तो बहुत छोटी में लिखनी पड़ती थी। तो दैट्स आल्सो समथिंग एल्स। दिस इज जस्ट अ स्टडी टूल, माने कि आप कार्ड में लिख रहे हो और फिर पीछे जवाब लिखा हुआ है, और माने यू बेसिकली क्रिएट टू पाइल्स ऑफ कार्ड्स कि अच्छा इनका जवाब पता है, इनका जवाब नहीं पता है। जिनका जवाब नहीं पता है, यू repeat those cards more often. So I'll use a flashcard application called Anki, ANKI, और उसको यूज करके
व्हाट इज
इसका
दैट?
डेमो देता हूँ।
से इट अगेन।
Well, it's called Anki. And again, being in America, I feel odd calling Anki because most of the audience is Indian. Anki बोल सकते हो, ANKI, or Anki with the American accent, ANKI, Anki tool. So this is a flashcard tool where just imagine small pieces of paper. You write a question in the front, you write an answer in the back, and every time this software shows you the question, you say, did you find the question easy or hard? And if you found it easy, then the software will show you that question less often. But if you found it hard, it will show you more often. And with this idea of spaced repetition, scientists have studied that that's how brains are able to memorize things.
So, Vix, why don't you show us the demo? And
Yes,
while you are putting this up, I will read out a comment. Well, I don't need to read out a comment. You can read it out yourself.
yes, I can
But
read it.
yeah,
Essentially, thank you. Yeah,
congratulations.
yeah. I did shave. Yeah, but I think I like my bigger beard more. So I think next time I'm going to keep it bigger. I think it made me more, gave me some
No,
gravity.
but you didn't give the expression to the barber. You have to say that I want a lumberjack beard. कि
अच्छा,
वो वाला
lumberjack.
कटिंग कर. तूने
हाँ,
कुछ बोल दिया होगा मेरे को कुछ XYZ beard करो या जनरल ट्रिम कर दो.
general trim. That's okay. So look at this. So this is a free software, aistudio.google.com. You can log in with your Google account and you click on the stream. Okay. Once you click on stream, make sure you change this to grounding with Google search is on and tokens per image is 66. I like to use Jeffers' voice, and then I can click on share screen and I share this.
Zephyr is Indian accent.
No, it's actually American accent, but it's a girl. I like talking to her more. Uh, so I share my screen and now keep quiet and see how I'm going to talk to the AI. Okay. Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you? I'm doing great, thanks.
Okay.
What can I do for you today?
Sure. So I'm going to use Anki to study some flashcards about accountancy term to class 12 commerce. Okay. So I'm going to bring this flashcard up. And the first question is golden rule for real accounts. What is the golden rule for real accounts? Just keep them real. Is that a good answer? Let me show an answer. Debit comes in, credit is what goes out. I didn't remember that at all. So I'm going to mark it as hard so that it can bring it back later. And not for profit organizations, those are organizations that make profit, but they don't have to pay taxes on profit. Is that a correct answer? Hi, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, Maglani, I'm going to have to restart this. Let's see what happens.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
But you know what? ये ऐसे लग रहा था that
हाँ,
you're talking with a real human.
yes.
Although मतलब थोड़ा सा accent is a slightly made up, but you know what? Because
Hi,
when we have these
can you
Zoom meetings,
hear me?
Teams meetings, then वो बीच में किसी का सिग्नल कम हो जाता है, किसी का बढ़ जाता है.
Hi, how are you doing today? How are you doing today? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. How can I help?
Yeah, so I'm using Anki to study some cards, and I'm gonna study economics term two. Can you tell me what are final goods?
Okay, I see that you're using Anki to study economics. Would you like me to define final goods for you?
Yes, I'm sorry, I don't remember what it is.
Certainly. Final goods are products that are purchased by consumers or businesses for their end use, rather than for resale or further processing. Would you like some examples?
Yeah, can you give me some examples?
Okay, some examples of final goods are cars, appliances, and personal computers. Would you like more examples?
So, what would a processor be? Suppose I buy a processor because I'm going to use the processor inside my computer. Is that a final good because I'm the end consumer and I'm making my own computer? Or is it not a final good because I'm going to put the processor inside my computer?
That's a great question. In that case, the processor would be considered an intermediate good since you are using it to produce another good, which is the computer.
No, but
Does this make sense?
I'm never going to sell this computer. It's for my home. I'm the final consumer of this product.
Ah, I see. Even if you are the final consumer of the computer, the processor is still an intermediate good because it's a component used in the production of that final product. Can I clarify anything else about final and intermediate goods?
Let's take the example of a hard drive. Suppose my computer, I buy a buy an external hard drive from my computer. Is that external hard drive a final good or an intermediate good?
An external hard drive would be considered a final good because you're purchasing it for its end use, which is data storage, rather than for further processing or resale. Does that help clarify things?
Sure, it does. So I'm going to show answer because I know this answer. I'm going to mark it as easy. Okay. Now,
All right.
what's a final expenditure? That's an interesting one.
I understand that you are now reviewing the term final expenditure. Would you like me to define this term for you?
Yes, along with some examples, please.
No problem. Final expenditure refers to the spending on final goods and services by households, businesses, and the government within an economy during a specific period. As for examples, these include personal consumption expenditures like food, clothing, and recreation. Do you want to know more?
Give me an example. Like when would a government expense be final expenditure, and when it would not be considered a final expenditure?
Sure. A government's expenditure on new infrastructure, like a bridge, would be considered a final expenditure. An example of something that would not be considered a final expenditure is government spending on transfer payments, such as unemployment benefits. Would you like another example?
What about government expenditure on healthcare? Is that final expenditure or not?
Government expenditure on healthcare is generally considered a final expenditure, as it represents spending on services consumed directly by individuals. Are there
Okay.
any other examples you would like to discuss?
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead
मीडिया
and
बंद कर यार, बंद कर
example.
बंद कर बंद कर प्लीज बंद कर मेरे को. I'm getting nightmares of our accounting
Okay.
classes.
You marked that term as hard. Now you are reviewing intermediate goods. Would you like me to define the term intermediate goods for you?
Okay. I closed it. But Mignani, I think you got the flavor of how this tool was so much more helpful than
Yeah.
if I had a book in my hands and was studying with a book. Because of spaced repetition of these Anki cards, if I recommend a final good, I marked it as that I know this answer, don't ask me more often. And final expenditure, I marked it as hard, so it's going to ask me more often. And then when I sit tomorrow and day after tomorrow and the day after that, it will bring up the cards that I marked as hard more often in front of me. And just imagine earlier, if I was just reading a book कि मैंने final goods, final expenditure पे एक chapter पढ़ा है, अब 4 दिन बाद मुझे क्या याद है क्या नहीं याद है, I don't remember that. मैंने I'm not I'm not keeping a track of it anymore. And suddenly, if I get a question, somebody asks me what's the final expenditure. In today's world, to find that out, I'll open Google on my phone, I'll type final expenditure, and I will read the answer. I'll go to ChatGPT, I'll say what is final expenditure. I'll read that answer. But this is so much easier because it's like मास्टर जी मेरी कॉपी देख रहे हैं और मेरी कॉपी देख के हम जो सन काम कर पा रहे हैं उस कॉपी पे, और मैं मास्टर से जो भी पूछ रहा हूँ, मास्टर जी क्योंकि उनके दिमाग में बहुत इंफॉर्मेशन है, वो इस सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट है, वो मुझे जवाब दे पा रहे हैं. तो आई थिंक द पर्सन, देखो मिगलानी क्या होता है कि जब हम लोगों ने कैट एग्जाम दिया, क्लास 12 का एग्जाम दिया, तो कुछ बच्चे थे जिनको आप थोड़ा सा दिखा दो तो उसको पकड़ के ना बहुत आगे बढ़ जाते थे, और कुछ बच्चे थे जो कि उनको स्पून फीड कर दो फिर भी नहीं खाते थे चीज को, राइट? सो आई थिंक फॉर पीपल हु आर वाचिंग दिस शो, take it a recommendation from someone who's in his late 40s now and did good in academics, that this is something ki, I'm showing you something, please catch it and move forward. This will help you big deal. So it's AI, Google AI Studio. You can show your screen, what's on your screen to the AI, and then you can have a discussion about what's on your screen to AI.
And it
So,
is free, is it?
and it is free, at least for the time
And they
being.
are not sponsoring our channel.
And they're not sponsoring a channel, yeah.
कोई नहीं स्पॉन्सर करता है यार, मतलब अगर स्पॉन्सर करेंगे तो हम उनके बारे में ज्यादा बात करेंगे.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think
नहीं, because what we are trying to do is what catches our attention, and if the sponsor is great, thank you, if they would, but otherwise what we are trying to show to our viewers is what are the little things that can be done either usually for free, or from for some very little cost, and that can help you in your daily life, whether it is studying, whether it is in your planning. If you're working, there's a different thing that you're doing. If you're in your class 12, class 8, anyone can use AI, and that is where I've got a comment here from Madhvendra.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
I think you can best answer it.
Yeah, so Madhvendra, that's a good question. Like I remember being in my college years and thinking, can I earn some money to help my family? Can I at least earn enough money that I don't have to ask money from my family? And obviously, AI is just such a uh, it's like it's changed everything, right? So can you do something with AI to earn money? If you can tell us a little bit more about which city you are in, that will give me some context, right? कि अगर तुम किसी बड़े शहर में, if you're in Bangalore or Hyderabad, that's different from being in some of the smaller towns.
But Kedia, वो he said he is in engineering.
Sure.
ठीक है. अब for all the engineers out there, engineers क्या कर सकते हैं AI में? I
So
mean, the
देखो,
way I see it, कि कोई भी क्या कर सकता है. It is an open field. It is a very new field कि कोई भी कुछ भी कर सकता है.
हाँ
बट एज एन इंजीनियर मेरा गट फील बोलती है कि ठीक है, आपने कोई मैथ साइंस टिपिकल इंजीनियरिंग एग्जाम देकर ही आप वहां पे पहुंचे हो.
yes.
सो देन देर इज अ देर इज एन अफिनिटी टू बी एबल टू आइदर कोड और यूज एआई.
Mhm. So, Madhvendra, what I'll suggest is कि you're already an engineer. Now, there's this whole idea that AI can help you write code. AI can help you make websites, can help you make applications. If I was in your shoes, if I was in a reasonably large city, I'll reach out to all the lawyers and accountants and architects in that city, and like I'll just make up a pamphlet and I'll say, "Okay, look, I can make a website for you." And I'll say like, or I can make AI applications for you, and I'll drop the pamphlet at 100 places. I think I'll get 2 or 3 phone calls and maybe one customer out of it, and that customer
बट
might
किडिया,
say,
आई वांट टू ब्लो दैट बबल नाउ. आई
okay,
वांट टू ब्लो दैट बबल एंड से कि ये तो ऑलरेडी लोग कर रहे हैं. मतलब whether it is on making images, whether it is making videos, ये सब तो सबसे easiest use case है.
nahi, nahi. What people are not doing is the lawyers, the accountants, the architects, the doctors in a city, which are the typical small businesses, they are not doing it, right? The lawyers, accountants,
नहीं,
architects.
लेकिन वेबसाइट तो बना रहे हैं ना. वेबसाइट तो
You'd be
इनफैक्ट
surprised.
वेबसाइट साइट्स ये आपके गो डैडी और जो भी मतलब सॉरी गो डैडी डजंट स्पॉन्सर अस, जस्ट टू बी क्लियर, इसकी कोई भी वेबसाइट उन्होंने सबने अपना एक एआई डाल दिया है कि आप करो 5 पाउंड दो और आपका वेबसाइट.
हाँ, बट ये जो लॉयर्स डॉक्टर्स हैं, ये नहीं बना पा रहे हैं फिर भी, बिकॉज इनको दे डोंट नो कि GoDaddy बोल के कोई वेबसाइट है जहाँ 5 पाउंड से बन जाता है. सो यू कैन से कि अच्छा 5 पाउंड की जगह मुझे 20 पाउंड दे दो, एंड आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ द, माने आई विल बी द इंटरफेस बिटवीन यू एंड द रेस्ट ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी वर्ल्ड. यू स्टे बी यू रिमेन बीइंग अ डॉक्टर, एंड यू कैन टेक इट अ लेवल अप. अगर किसी डॉक्टर से इंटरफेस होता है तो देन द डॉक्टर माइट से कि अच्छा मुझे एक इनटेक सिस्टम बना दो कि कोई पेशेंट अपने फोन से अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन दे सके मुझे, ताकि पेपर फॉर्म्स नहीं भरना पड़े. एंड यू माइट थिंक कि अच्छा यार, मैं तो सेकेंड इंजीनियरिंग स्टूडेंट हूँ, हाउ कैन आई राइट ऑल दिस कोड, आई कांट डू दिस. So then I'll suggest that you watch some YouTube videos that AI is able to do 95% of programming. And we gave a previous demo on this AI called Manus, MANUS, Manus. अगर उसका डेमो देखोगे तो तुम AI को बोलोगे कि अच्छा मुझे एक ऐसा ऐप बना दो जो कि एक डॉक्टर अपना इनटेक कर सके. और अगर कोई स्किन स्पेशलिस्ट है तो वो इनटेक में अलग सवाल पूछेगा, कोई कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट है तो वो इनटेक में अलग सवाल पूछेगा. वो तो आप बहुत इजीली बना सकते हो. जो पहले जो चीज बनाने के लिए यू नीडेड 5 प्रोग्रामर्स एंड अ मंथ और 3 months, नाउ यू कैन डू बाय योरसेल्फ इन 3 days. एंड यू कैन आई थिंक चार्ज, लाइक आई वुड से कि अगर कोई डॉक्टर को इनटेक सिस्टम में बना दूं कि लोग कैन गो ऑन व्हाट्सएप, click on a link, a form opens up, they fill out some answers, and now that goes into the doctor system. That would be worth at least one employee to the doctor's office, right? और अगर एक employee की वो 30-35 हजार रुपए देता है डॉक्टर, या 25-30 हजार रुपए देता है, so for the year that's 3 lakhs, the doctor might be willing to pay you 1/3 of it, 1 lakh, just as a one-time software. So if I was starting up in Bangalore and if I didn't have money, that's what I would want to do at this time, and with the hope कि सपोज अगर मैंने एक कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट के लिए बहुत अच्छा बना दिया, and that customer really loves my product, and then I'll hire a salesperson and try to market to all the cardiologists in my city, then to my state, and then to my country, and just make a cardiologist intake software कि मेरा सॉफ्टवेयर है, व्हाट्सएप में एक लिंक जाती है, उस पर क्लिक करते हैं और उससे आदमी आपकी कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट प्रैक्टिस में intake कर सकता है, you know. That's one of the ideas.
Yes, I think that is lovely advice. मैं अपने बच्चों को तो डेफिनेटली बताऊंगा. मेरे पास एक क्वेश्चन है, and I know I'm jumping back to the demo that you gave.
Yeah.
That question has been in my mind. Is कि यार वो बहुत ही ज्यादा, वो हर जो भी आप सवाल पूछ रहे थे
Mhm.
उसमें बोल रहा था कि मैं इसका जवाब दूं, क्या मैं इसका जवाब दूं. तो ऐसे तो आपका पर्सनल ट्यूटर मास्टर जी तो नहीं करते कि
Yeah.
क्या
Yeah.
क्या आप मेरे से ये पूछ रहे हो.
Uh-huh.
वो तो एक डंडी लगाते हैं, अबे
Uh-huh.
सवाल तो सही पूछ.
Uh-huh.
तो ये क्या हो रहा है.
No, you're right. I think AIs are trained for psychophancy. I think that's been a term that's used. AIs, the way the AI.
ये तो दो तीन दिन से ये ओपन एआई ने तो आके सैम ऑल्टमैन ने इसकी माफी मांगी है, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, because the way the AIs do good when they do good on LM Arena. So we talked about LM Arena in the past, which is a leaderboard, and there you rank higher if people actually vote your answer to be better, right? And and that ranking is very important because it is that ranking that gets people like me interested in that model and then looking at that model. Now, how do you do better in that ranking? By telling the person, wow, what a great question it is.
तू कितना यार, तू कितना महान है, तुम्हारे पाँव का है.
Yeah, so that's psychophancy. And I think all AIs, most AIs who want to do good on LM Arena need to make their users feel good about themselves. And then that's why there's this tendency of AIs to bend over backwards in making you feel good about yourself. But I
But
think
why is it like so stark कि OpenAI ने अपना मॉडल ही विड्रॉ कर लिया. They have come, from what I read, is that they have withdrawn the latest update to the 4.0 model,
yeah,
GPT
yeah,
का 4.0
yeah.
model.
The reason
उन्होंने
is that,
अपडेट ही विड्रॉ कर लिया.
yeah, because what that model did for them to rank high in LM Arena, they basically the model learned that I have to make the user feel like he's the best. So one user asked कि अच्छा मैं गाय का गोबर एक स्टिक में गोबर की जो पतली होती थी ना उसको लगा के मैं उसको बेचूंगा as a business. What do you think of this idea? And the user told ChatGPT that this would be a middle finger to corporations, and ChatGPT said, "Wow, that's the best business idea ever." And it said that this would be a great business idea, and so that model. See, even the AI engineers who are training these models, the training code is probably around 1,000 lines of code. So it's not a lot of code, and then it's just reinforcement learning where you tell the AI, this answer is better, this answer is not better. So when a user asked about a business idea, whenever the AI said this business idea is better, it always got this is a good answer. So the AI learned to know कि कोई भी business idea पूछे तो उसको बोलो that's the best answer ever. So I think those kind of things will happen. But see, I think it's important that we focus on the personal tutor aspect of the AI and not focus on the psychophancy aspect of the AI, because any new technology will have positives and negatives. And जो बच्चे आगे बढ़ेंगे अभी और जो generation आगे बढ़ेगी, they'll be the one who will hold on to the positives and ignore the negatives, because negatives will get fixed. The AI that you use today is the worst that it will ever be. यहाँ से वो सिर्फ improve ही करेगी. ये stagnancy का phase नहीं पहुंचे हम अभी तक.
नहीं, मैं तो मतलब इम्प्रूव नहीं, मतलब सिविलाइजेशन सिर्फ ऊपर नहीं जाते, कुछ लोग नीचे भी आते हैं.
Absolutely. I think
so some AIs will do better, some AIs will not do as well, क्योंकि वो उनका वो नेगेटिव लूप में चले जाते हैं, just like human brain भी नेगेटिव लूप में जाता है. और the moment we see artificial intelligence, so intelligence is like they're trying to mimic the human brain.
Yes.
And just like the human brain can go in a negative loop, I think some of these AIs can also go into a negative loop, which is this whole psychophancy thing.
Yes.
But I hope, and I agree with you on this one thing, कि overall, just like humanity, पिछले 5,000 साल और 50,000 साल में जहां पे हम पहुंचे हैं, वैसे AI भी पहुंचेगी. And this is my every episode I want to give this as maybe हमें record करके ये play करना चाहिए, that AI is here for you to harness it and not here as a competing force as long as you know how to harness it.
Yes. So I can say that those people who use AI to prepare for the IIM CAT exams appearing at the end of this year, मैं 3 6 महीने बाद ही 6 महीने बाद exams हैं. The people who use AI will improve their score by 10%. अगर वो without the AI they'd have scored say 80, now they'll score 88 just with the demo that we demonstrated today. So
I think anyone who's watching this and they are preparing for the CAT exams, please try this out
yeah,
and ask us questions, because Kedia is going to answer your questions. How do you use, if you have a question कि इसको मैं कैसे करूं,
mhm.
not about CAT, उसके लिए हम दोनों बैठे हैं, लेकिन दैट्स नॉट आवर बिगेस्ट कॉम्पिटेंसी, हमने क्लियर किया था. बट हाउ डू यू यूज AI, whether it's one app or the other, how do you improve your CAT score, उसके लिए आप हमको मैसेज करो and we will help you.
Okay. So with that thought, Miglani, let's bring this episode to an end today. Uh, Great talking to you. Have a great.
Biggs, are you going to promise the users or the viewers कि next episode में आप दो चीजें करोगे?
Okay.
एक तो आप डेमो दोगे if we have any questions, and you're going to show them about the cat. But an even bigger demo for me is how do you get around? How do you get around? अच्छा, ये थोड़ा सा ज्यादा है, मतलब नहीं देना है तो नहीं देना, लेकिन हाउ डू यू गेट अराउंड द कॉस्ट पार्ट? क्योंकि कई बार वो मांगते हैं कि 1,000 रुपए दो या 5,000 दो, 10 पाउंड दो, 20 पाउंड दो मंथली सब्सक्रिप्शन के.
Sure. No, most of the AI right now, other than OpenAI, AIs that are better than OpenAI are free. Like Google AI Studio का जो मैंने demo दिया, it's free because most of the world is going to OpenAI because they were the first mover, they got the first mover advantage. Grok today, which is again ranked better than OpenAI, is free because they have more servers, they have more capacity than what they can. Like they're not constrained by capacity, so it's free. So both Google AI Studio and Grok is free. And yeah, and Venkat.
Okay, I know we are over time, but एक और लास्ट सवाल है, इसके बाद we are definitely signing off, folks.
Yeah, no, Venkat, congratulations on using Perplexity to help you with JE mains. And I agree, Perplexity is very good at helping understand concepts and so on. And if you have time, check out Anki and check out the Google AI Studio sharing your screen, Anki screen with Google AI Studio with the AI, and then talking to the AI about what it can see on the screen. And you can actually open the Paint software on your computer. You can write something on the Paint software. The AI can see it, and you can talk to the AI about what you have written on the screen. And you can say, "अच्छा मैंने ये किया." So AI can say, "नहीं, second line में तुमने ये गलती करी है, तुम्हें ये नहीं ये करना चाहिए था." So it's that good. And maybe we can give a demo next week where we have a question that say require 5 steps to solve something, right? कि एक question है, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and we'll be able to, and the AI is actually able to point out कि step 3 में तुमने ये गलती करी है, and then we can talk, अच्छा ये गलती क्यों हुई, क्या हुआ, and all that. So I think it's getting really good and it's very impressive.
Perfect. So we'll try that in the next episode, and we'll answer any question that comes between now and the next episode. We'll do it live. We try to do 30 minutes. We are already at 35. So until next week, until the next hump day, which is not said in a bad way, we'll see you then. Thank you.
Very good.